Hey guys, welcome back to another chat with me. Today I've got a pair of socks, I've got a finished test knit, and I've got a new whip to talk to you guys about. So let's jump into that. So today is March 2nd, which means I completed my February socks. Yay! I think I told you guys about these last time, but this is just the most gorgeous yarn from Woolberry Fiber Co. This is in her Flower Shop color, and I'm almost positive that it was one of her Berry Club colors. I actually think it was from February. Like I was about to cast on another color or a whole different yarn, and I got this in the mail and was like, nope, scratch, that's what I'm doing. So I thought it was perfect for kind of Valentine's and February. And then, I don't know why, but I had this little tiny scrap of purple yarn left over from a pair of socks I did from Pineapple Yarns, and like a sock set that she had. And I was like looking at it, and I was like, yeah, I think it'll be enough just for heels, because the way that I kind of work with socks, when I don't know exactly what contrast color I want to do, I just start knitting it, and I start from the toe up. So I just start knitting it with the idea that like maybe I'll do the heels in a different color, and maybe I'll do the cuffs in a different color, but I kind of wanted to see it knit up before I committed to the contrast color. And then I kept like putting it with colors that are kind of like in here, like this lighter one, or even like a green, or like a darker mauve. And I don't know, I just kept being drawn to this purple. I like couldn't get this idea of just like a flashy purple heel out of my head. So I went ahead and did it, and guess what didn't work, guys? Didn't work, didn't have enough. So I ended up just kind of doing this cutesy little thing where I went back to my original yarn and finished up the heel. But it's still kind of cute. They're kind of charming. I like them. As someone said, they're sisters, not twins. But so I base almost all my sock patterns, the same as always, off of Susan B. Anderson's My First Toe Up Sock pattern. But I actually ended up doing the heel this time from her Smooth Operator sock pattern heel. Does that make sense? It just kind of looks a little bit differently. It's got kind of like just one little line instead of my usual one has like kind of a faux seam. So I did that, and then for the cuff this time I had mentioned this on Instagram, but I am loving this rib. This knit 2 through the back loop, purl 1 rib. I just think that it looks really, really pretty even on, and then actually when it's not stretched, I feel like it looks really nice too. See how it kind of looks? It just looks like tight. It just kind of keeps its shape a little bit. And someone had mentioned this to me, like I knit my socks, I knit 56 stitches for my socks. So what I did is I just decreased. I decreased 2 stitches once I got to the ribbing. So that way I would have the right number to do little increments of 3. So yeah, those are February socks. So cute. And guys, this yarn is so good. Like this is definitely one of my favorite sock yarns that I've ever knit with, this Berry Cashmere. It's an MCN. It's delicious. So good on. Okay, so there's those. And then the other thing I finished was this beautiful cowl that is by Natalie, who is Knitty Natty on Instagram. She came up with this amazing pattern. So now what I did a few months ago, I shared a picture of a scarf, of a store-bought scarf that my mom had bought. And it kind of was this like single ply, thicker yarn with mohair. And I had no idea what kind of stitch it was, if it was brioche or if it was whatever, but I took a picture of it, and Natalie was like, oh, I'll come up with that. I was like, okay, great. Like, so she did, and it's not brioche, it's crazy easy. Like, this scarf was so easy to knit, and it was so much fun. So I used Artistic Lily. I used her singles bulky, which the pattern actually calls for a worsted, but again, I couldn't get this out of my head, this idea of this particular yarn in this pattern. So I used her singles bulky, which is so awesome, in the color Vintage Forest, and it's so cool. I love it a lot. And then the mohair is this, again, I can't pronounce this, but I think it's Iciger. You know what's throwing me off about this? So maybe it's Iger. I think it's German actually, the company, but it says made in Italy. So I kept looking at this and I'm like, ISAGER is not an Italian, it's not an Italian word. Oh, speaking of which, the name of this beautiful cow is Lusso Osso. You like my Italian accent? But yeah. Okay, where was I with this? Sorry guys, I've like totally lost my train of thought now. I threw off. So anyways, this is Artistic Lily, single bulky, vintage forest. And then it's the Isager mohair in the color 0. And you just kind of knit back and forth in this cool stitch. And what's awesome about it is I normally hate working with bulky yarn because it hurts my hands a lot, but I love the look of like chunky knits. But this, since you're doing the mohair and the bulky yarn, you never have that like tight, you know, kind of grinding. So it gives you this kind of like fluffy scarf that's nice and light, but it has like kind of that cool chunky knit look. And she also has different variations in the pattern where you can do double rows of mohair, or you can make it just a cowl. Just a cowl instead of like the double looped one. It's super cute. I love it. Yeah, really excited that she came up with that and that she let me test that for her. So there's that. And then the other thing I have to share with you is I did start a new project, and this is something that if you've been hanging around for a little bit, I have literally been obsessing about this project since she released the pattern. And it is Shannon Cook, her snowberry wrap that she did. I'm making the cowl version, and guys, it's so good. Would you look at that? Isn't it just the most fun? So it's like garter and then a tiny bit of like really simple lace and then some like really big fluffy baubles, and it just kind of like repeats this pattern in a way all the way around. And you can either make it a wrap or a cowl. I'm going to make the cowl version, and mine is definitively going to be smaller than her version simply because I don't have enough yarn. So I saw this yarn by Fuse Fiber Studios and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect for this pattern. It is her Fifi DK in the color fawn. Here it is. So it is fluffy and soft and true to form. It has a little bit of silk in it. It actually has, it's alpaca, 40 alpaca, 40 wool, and 20 silk. So as you can imagine, it's warm and fluffy and shiny and just drapey, beautiful. It is gorgeous. And look at that halo. And it is absolutely perfection in this pattern, like perfection. So I'm thinking mine will end up being about 75% of what Shannon's original is, which I'm happy with. Like, that'll be fine. Obsessed, so obsessed. And it's super fun to knit. Like, I mean, the most concentration you have to do is on the bobbles, like just to remember where you are, but they're kind of fun. And they're only one row every, I mean, look, I've only made 2 rows so far. So super fun, knitting them on my signatures, size 7, going fast. Love this. And they're living in this cute bag that my mom made me like ages and ages ago. Isn't it cute? So I think that's about it, guys. Like, kind of a short week. I'm actually test knitting another hat. But maybe I'll show that to you guys when it's done, because it'll definitely done by the next time I talk to you. Hope you guys had a great week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.